And I think we are live. Cool. Tyler, man, appreciate you coming on here. It's Todd Schroth here and Tyler Auerbacher.
Yes, you got it.
Perfect. I thought my name was hard.
You have no idea, man. It's been a rough 30 plus years.
I'm just enjoying my kids going through the same torture I did with the teachers trying to learn how to say it. Luckily, we've corrected most of them before the kids got to class. So I wanted to just thank you for coming on our page, Agents Who Win. We're just trying to bring some value back to the agent community and really just connecting with business leaders in the area who have offers of marketing, open houses, leadership, variation of things. And I love what you've come across. And you and I met at a previous marketing company that we were having stuff done through. And, you really launched in the last, year now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about what Dippidi is and what you guys have going on.
Yeah, man. Thank you again for having me, Todd. Obviously we go way back, and it's just been a really fun ride over the last year and some change. We launched Dippidi, and we are essentially an extension to our client's team. We are a done-for-you marketing company. We create custom Facebook and Instagram ads and content for your website that has your input and your goals in mind. We work on a very one-to-one custom relationship level with our clients. So I think that's what really creates clients that stay long-term and just create those experiences. So I think with marketing in general, every team and every market has different messaging, different goals, different objectives. So not even to mention your branding and your style and your coloring and things of that nature. But it's important that you stand out and build brand and emotional equity. And that's what we do for clients, so they don't have to. You guys are busy selling and servicing and having a life outside of real estate.
We are, we wear many hats, especially as a team leader, where we have a full marketing, we've got transactions, we've got, just our own, brand that we're trying to build, because that's what the idea of the team concept is. And so it's a lot easier when you have someone like yourself that can kind of help take that and run with it, who specializes in it. Because I don't do Facebook ads, I don't do Google marketing, I don't do remarketing. I can talk about it a little bit, but then all of a sudden I'm like, hold on, who's my customer I'm talking to? So I make sure I don't sound like an idiot.
No, I get it, man. I'm a big nerd. I've realized that more and more over the years. And sometimes, when I'm on calls, with clients or prospects, I have to remember not to speak at this nerdy level. But there are some teams that have marketing coordinators and have people in place that do these strategies. I know that you have a team, Todd. So there's people, that have the opportunity, whether it be with that team or you have extra time on your hands to execute these sort of strategies. So, obviously we take that off our clients' plates, but, these are strategies that are, industry known, and that things that are proven that we've done for clients that I'm definitely going to share with you guys. And at bare minimum, you guys should be executing these strategies and just understanding the value in doing these consistently. Whether that's you or us or anyone, it's important to build your brand, especially in just drop my markers. That's okay. But just building your brand, especially in today's landscape with everyone being online and just consuming content in general, it's so important to adapt and just continue to create that content and create those unique opportunities.
One of the things we've got, I've got Rachel on our team who is our marketing coordinator, and, there's only so much that one person can do. So it's like, we take her and, she does so much, but then it's like, what else can we achieve? So it's like we hire a company like Dippidi to use her as kind of like the in-between, and then she can take the plans and put them in, and have you guys put them in action. And we've always had that. So it's, as the teams grow, you've got to have more support and stuff going on.
Right. Exactly. The bulk of our teams are definitely, more, high performing teams with larger inventories. So typically, we have packages, and you guys can visit that link and see what we offer. We have different levels, but for the most part, our clients either, outsource this to us, or they have a marketing liaison who we work with and just take some of these efforts off your plate.
Right.
It may not be everything, because obviously this is an investment in your business, and you have to understand, it takes time and, to generate ROI and just build those opportunities. But, especially when you have someone on your team that works in conjunction with us, those are typically the, even better relationships because we all just stay accountable together. We're big on communication. So that only helps because, again, you guys are just busy. So
right. Well, I mean, I'm this morning I plan on doing a lot more stuff, but I ended up meeting 2 roofers on a closing we had today because ironically we do a walkthrough and there's the ceiling's got some nice green stuff on it and it's very soft as you touch it. So, what I had planned for I would have spent on my time marketing, working on my business or whatever, was spend time meeting with roofers to get a closing done today. And so it's easier when you have someone who sorry, I was just seeing a message come in. It's easy when you have someone who specializes in what you're doing, so you can take it and run. And and we can just hit the execution button and it's done. I mean, you're $10,000 to $15,000 a year for a full-time marketer that has a specialty like yourself. It's a lot easier than me trying to take my time away, and set the ads and do all this stuff. So it's definitely worth it. And I connected with you guys. I mean, when we started working together, it was probably 6, 7, 8 years ago when we really started outsourcing our marketing a little bit more. And it was a game changer for us when that happened. And that's even with someone full time in our office doing the marketing.
Right. And I mean, I can understand that. I'm this big nerd that actually enjoys Facebook ads and analytics and metrics like this stuff. But I'm never going to do my own accounting. I'm never going to I'm never going to be a financial wizard. As much as I want to, I'll do my research and whatnot. But I'm willing to outsource that because it frees up my time to be an expert in what I am good at.
Right.
There's just certain levels in your business that it makes sense, to do those sort of things. But I'm just excited to share, these strategies, especially, with your repeat business in your database. I'm excited just to share some of these strategies that we do on the behalf of our clients. But again, you guys can take these ideas and these, examples and run with them today or next week.
So you mentioned flywheel model. Can you do a screen share and show us what that is?
Yeah, most definitely, man. So this is, I'll share my screen here.
I haven't done screen share on StreamYard before, so let's see how it works.
Okay. That should be good.
All right, let me add a stream. Perfect.
Yeah, that was like an Inception type of view right there. So this is the flywheel model. Can you see my screen, Todd?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Can everybody in the chat or the
And I'm gonna take the names off. Nope, you can see it all there. I just can't know if we can see right above where our names are at.
Okay.
But we've got the base funnel versus flywheel and down.
Perfect. So yeah, man. So this is the core philosophy. Before we work with a client, before we, even talk about, the custom marketing that we're going to generate for them, they have to understand how we do it and why we do it, right? So the funnel is the traditional, way of thought when it comes to generating leads and sales. This is an outdated, old school mindset. We are moving into a technology-driven industry age where it requires you to adapt with the consumer and how they're, actually engaging with content and contacting us and, actually being a client, right? So the flywheel model, this is a more autonomous way to grow your business. It's more of a sustainable way, not relying on, cold lists, cold callings, it's just, cold door knocking. It's a rat race. It gets monotonous. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying you have to remove that from your business, but that could be a pillar of it, right? But this flywheel model, the old school way of thinking, is getting a mass amount of leads and trying to get as many to convert as possible, right? And once they become a customer or a client, you're on to the next mass amounts, of people to attract, hopefully become a client. And it's just a vicious, cycle again. And whether that person becomes a client or not, if they fall out during the engage stage or capture stage and they don't become a customer, you still forget about them. It's just a ongoing, way where you're never focused on the client. It's always on to the next new person, right? The flywheel is always keeping your client and your past clients in your database, your sphere, people who know you, like you, and trust you, always keeping them front of mind and creating content that builds your brand equity to make a client become a brand promoter. That's your ultimate goal in business, referrals and word of mouth, where you've done such an amazing job, not only with your sales, but also your service and your marketing, where you are the first person people are going to reach out to just because of the value that you give and the person that you are, right? So the flywheel model, the way that we create content, there's different stages, right? Again, going back to the funnel, some of these components are in it, but you'll notice, attract, engage, and then delight. Delight's the key thing that's missing in the funnel approach that the flywheel has, that is going to continue to grow your customer list, because as your customers grow and that core enhances, the flywheel,
right,
and it spins faster, your business grows faster.
right.
So it's that way of thinking. As long as you're creating content that attracts, engages, and delights prospects, customers, and your clients all together simultaneously, that's the way that you should be doing your marketing in 2020 and beyond right now. So the flywheel is a newer way of thinking. It's inbound marketing. It's creating value that creates conversations, and conversations leads to clients.
So are you taking like our database and just basically it's like a big remarketing campaign, but a little bit more involved?
100%. Yeah, that's one of the core principles or the core strategies that we would implement right in this engage level.
Right.
We're going to go inside of Facebook and create these custom audiences on the behalf of clients. Now, some of you guys may have these already created, but we want to make sure that that you have these at a base level, meaning your website traffic, your Facebook engagement, your video views, your Instagram engagement, and of course your database. So all of your past clients, your sphere, any older leads, you want to make sure that you get them into Facebook to do remarketing, stay top of mind on social media as well. You're probably doing email marketing, which is great, but everybody communicates differently. So it's just critical that you at least still have some remarketing in place that keeps people engaged, going back to your website, that you're providing value on, that is one of your best salespeople. But you're also creating valuable content that makes you memorable. Or people, obviously, you want to generate leads. So, leads or brand building are the core objectives when it comes to this. But all those strategies are dependent on your goals, right? So, some clients want, more leads. Some clients want more brand equity. They want more traffic. That they understand the importance of that. They already have good amount of leads already coming in. So there's different ways to slice it based on your goals and strategies. And that's, again, going back to being flexible when it comes to a team. It's always dependent on what's going on in the market and you guys specifically. 2020 is a great example, man. We had all these great quarterly marketing plans in place, starting in March, going out for Q2. And then all of a sudden we're pivoting and creating, things to do at home with your kids, things that are, creating value on your website. But of course, people are still looking at homes,
Yep.
So you have to have that remarketing that shows properties for sale, which I'll show you that here in a second.
I've never seen stuff shift so fast, as we like all got told in middle of March, time to stay home. And it's just a boom, complete mind shift.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, right? So these are some examples of a couple of ads that we recently ran for clients that I want you guys to take a screenshot. Or obviously the replay will be in the Facebook group anyway, but these are what you would call Facebook lead IDX ads. Okay, so these are ads that are on Facebook, the sole purpose of conversion to generate leads. And when someone fills a form out, it goes to your website IDX to a filtered search that we've dictated. Okay. So these are two examples, but one concept that is just performing outstanding right now. And this is one core ad that we run for clients to generate leads. So whether it be a certain price point or a certain amenity or a certain location, whatever those sweet spots are for you, or those things that are highly sought after in your market, we'll help craft those sort of angles. Whether some clients have large inventories, so featured listings is an amazing, ad that we run, appeasing your sellers, of course. So all of your sellers are in this list. And then the next step would be, once they engage with this list or any home on your IDX from these IDX ads, they should then get dynamically remarketed based on their engagement on your website. So depending on your IDX platform, you have the ability to, run highly custom dynamic remarketing ads. And are you familiar with that, Todd?
I am a little bit. So, I mean, I guess the question on this one, that's why I'm kind of like waiting to say something. So are you targeting them back? I clicked on this because it was a 4-bedroom, 3-bath pool home. Are you going to remarket me with more 4-bedroom, 3-bath pool homes? Or are you going to remarket me with just general ads about homes by Team Schroth?
So basically, they would have the ability to see any of these campaigns, or any of these homes like the ones that you've engaged with. So for instance, we're excuse me, we're basically guiding our client consumers down a path into three different pools, right? Pools that are of interest to you. So certain amenity, certain price range, maybe it's your featured listings. Those are the 3 key pools that we want people to swim in for you, right? So when they do jump in that pool, when they go back out, they'll see homes just like the one that was in that pool.
Right.
It could have been, for example, our client out in Boulder, Colorado, they specialize in mountain cabins, right? So when a fresh new lead engages with Boulder Home Source, this ad about mountain cabins, which is a list of properties,
right,
and go back to Facebook, they'll see other homes that they've just engaged with. And that dynamically evolves as the consumer engages. So, to dive even deeper, if someone did come in on this mountain cabin home, but then they looked at, golf course, homes near golf courses, it would evolve with them. And when they go back to Facebook, it'll adapt. So as long as you have the right parameters in place and you have those things in the back end, which is, I'm not even going to get into that part, but you have these certain parameters based on the search criteria. And when they do engage, that dynamic remarketing shows them properties that are relevant to what they've just engaged with. So in theory, you're getting more quality leads because that's also targeting people to, with the form.
Right.
But these are people that have already visited your IDX page. They've already, have done some sort of action if they haven't already filled out a form prior. So it's just another opportunity to get people more in this engaged stage, because if someone engages with this list and then they aren't a lead already, but then they see the dynamic remarketing ad, you've already built some credibility, you've already built some value, or they know you to some capacity where they're more inclined to become a lead because they understand they're becoming a lead at this point.
Right.
So that's a difference in mindset right there. But the IDX ads and the dynamic remarketing are definitely 2 pillar pieces. Really, no matter what level that we work with clients, these are ads that we're running to generate ROI and to get results. So that's. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah. No, because this all, I kind of got turned on to this when, I think it was AdWorks or AdRoll came out a long time ago. Totally different product. But it was like when whenever someone would click on something, all of a sudden you're going to see me on the Weather Channel or Fox News or whatever on the side. And so that was like top of mind marketing. This is more like lead generation marketing. And I like this.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, for us working with clients, we have to generate ROI. We have to give you guys opportunities that at least you can reinvest and create more custom campaigns, create hyper-local blogs that are specifically relevant to your market, that your buyers and sellers are, asking you these questions that we can repurpose into content with your keywords and your meta tags and, all of those elements at a psychological level that makes you stand out and makes you, again, memorable.
Yeah.
So that's the key thing when it comes to marketing is, you can have the same approach, But it has to stand out. It has to at least aesthetically look different. It has to be different, especially for SEO purposes. So it's very detrimental to your website when you have duplicate content. So
here's a question. So somebody coming in like myself, I'm an individual agent and I want to try and do this stuff on my own. How much time and knowledge would I have to go back and do all that stuff? And what systems would I have to have in place if I'm trying to do it on my own?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's the sort of thing where, there's multiple classes online. There's things where you can research and do these efforts on your own. It's, a lot of the probably software companies that you've invested in, there's tutorials and help centers, and they have support teams that you can reach out to at least get the ball rolling and get started. And now, it's like art, right? Everyone can draw. Everyone, right. I can do a painting right now. Is it going to sell in a museum? Hell no. But marketing and ad creation and targeting and messaging and branding, that's an art, right?
Yeah.
It all has to communicate and be unison and have a unilateral strategy that communicates together. So all of that matters. So of course you can do it on your own, and even if someone wants to reach out to me within your community, Todd, and they want some additional help, I can help guide them.
What I'm thinking is so if I'm going to have to go through all that, I'm just trying to gauge what the hours are. So if I'm going to spend 30 hours a month working on my marketing like that, or if it's going to take me 5 to 6 hours a week, and I know once it's set up, it's a lot easier, but you still got to maintain. And versus I just shoot you a message, hey Tyler, I need this done, and boom, you're on.
Right. Well, that's the key difference. That's why you would hire us. But yeah, that's the sort of thing. Like our clients get inspiration, or they see things.
Do you want me to add that to the stream?
Say it again?
Do you want me to add the screen back to the stream?
Yes. Yeah. Right. I'm going to show you because you can send us inspiration, or you can send us ideas, and of course, we can go to the drawing board and make it your own. But if you're doing it on your own, there's ways to see what's proven. You can, I'm not sure if people even know this, but Facebook recently, with all of the security issues over the last year or so, they had to make their Facebook ads public facing. Anybody on Facebook, you can see what ads any company or business profile is currently running right now.
Okay.
So you can see what clients, in your market are doing, or what industry leaders are doing. You can even see what Apple is doing. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can search Apple here, Apple TV, and I can see what ads. They're not even running any ads. Look at that.
So it'll show you. Now, is this a site that you're on?
This is Facebook.com.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Facebook ad library.
Okay.
But for example, if you want to search one of your clients, I'll go to one of ours that I was showing you that example of in Boulder Home Source. You can go, let me see. There it is. You can go on to any profile and see what ads a company is currently doing.
That's a great way to track the competition.
100%, right. It's a good way to track your competition, and this just goes to show you that this information is widely accessible. It's not a matter of, nothing's a secret anymore. It's just a matter of execution. Right. And that's what I've learned over the last year being a business owner. It's just all boils down to doing it. We can talk about it and learn about it and watch a podcast and listen to Gary Vee every single week. Doesn't matter unless you're actually doing these things. But yeah, there's, you're not out on an island. You can do research, and you can even see what we're currently doing. You can see
what any
you
want to spend a Friday evening with a beer and just hey, what's my competition locally have going on?
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. You can see literally what any sort of company is doing, that you can get inspiration and at least something to get the ball rolling and get your mind going. And then what I would advise you guys to do is then go into, let me stop my screen so it's not some inception. Then what I would advise you guys to do is go into a brainstorm with your team or yourself if you're a solo agent.
Right.
and do a quarterly marketing plan. Put together something in place, and I'll actually share. I'll share a template that you can drop for everyone, Todd. That is a
awesome.
downloadable
That'd be
template.
great. We'll put it up on the page.
Yeah, a quarterly 90-day social media outline where you can just drop in your ideas and just keep yourself accountable. That's what helps us, and that's what I would advise you guys to do. Is just, allocate an hour per quarter. It's not a lot of time, and knock out a brainstorm, give out your strategies, and at least start creating something, and just stay consistent.
One of our growth partners had us do something with that. We just like to call it the 90-day rocks. And, I love that because I can sit here and plan out. So I've got a ton of ideas always going in my head of what I want to do. And when I put it on paper and my wife and I sit down and say, okay, what are we going to hit this quarter? And then what are we going to hit next quarter?
Right.
Because if I put it all down now, it's not going to get done because you're just overwhelmed.
Exactly.
And so let's pick out the top things. Like right now, we're opening up another office up in Volusia County, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to market it, how we're going to grow that business up there, and really, hit that area. And it's like, all right, so we want to hit the following things. So we actually sat down 2 weeks ago and came up with a plan, a 90-day plan for it. Mm-hmm. It was like it was enlightening doing that versus putting all the stuff down on paper. It was like, okay, let's just take the top things that are going to work right now.
Right.
And so I like the 90-day thing you've got.
Yeah, I'll just share that really quick, like for a couple seconds, just to show everyone what that looks like.
Example.
Yeah, I think I can just pull it up here if I just type in 90. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'll send this to you, Todd. So this is something that you guys can use, and you'll see an example, so you can kind of just see the flow. And I won't get into it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Again, it boils down to execution. So figure it out. We're smart enough to figure this out.
Right.
But you'll at least have a template and a guide to stay consistent. And that's the first step, is having a plan and staying consistent to execute with. So,
well, and you could start doing all the work now, and then you just have it lined out there, because I saw you had a spot for the image, a spot for the link that's going to go there. And if you pull all that together now, then it's, in 4 weeks, you're not sitting there trying to scramble to figure out what to do.
Exactly. If you have a marketing admin, send that to him or her, and then they have something, if they don't already, which I would advise you guys to definitely have at least a quarterly, if not a monthly. Quarterly, I think, is even better because it allows you to batch your work and always stay ahead. A month is still tough, man, because a lot of things can change. And I know things can change in a quarter, and you have to adapt. Don't get me wrong. Not everything can be put in a quarter plan stays.
We our first quarter was excellent, and then the second quarter marketing line out like, nope, we're all changing everything.
Yeah, they put the full court press on us in the second quarter, and we had so right now we're trying to get out, but yeah, man, it definitely boils down to that. And then the next thing, Todd, I would say is having trust in your system, so your website, your CRM, your IDX, like all of that needs to put you in the best position to get results also. So just making sure that all those are communicating together, you're maximizing what you've invested in, all those things matter as well. But all of that, with that said, you have to create custom content that speaks to your market and speaks to your people and create those experiences.
And that's not me. That's where we've got to outsource, because for me to sit here and type a nice blog out, it's going to be one long on sentence. That's why I love when I'll have an idea and it's like, here, Tyler, put it together, get it done, because it comes out so much better.
Most
now,
definitely.
you guys, do you have? So if we go into Dippidi and we hire you guys to do all of our marketing, do you have a back-end system that kind of tracks some of this stuff? I know we use Follow Up Boss as our database. What do you guys use for the background for that?
Yeah, great question. So first and foremost, we've invested into an automated tracking analytic tool. So all of our clients get monthly reports. So all of the key metrics that we track, like conversions and cost per lead and cost per click, all those metrics, you get monthly reports. And we're in accounts daily and weekly, being those nerds, but always optimizing stuff. But you're definitely always going to stay in the know as far as analytics and having the ROI. But the key things that I would say is with your CRM, it doesn't really matter which one it is. You need to just execute and make sure that it has the proper abilities to have action plans and automation that at least helps anything that's falling through the cracks, right?
Right.
So, the CRM is a huge component, and that's really our 1-2 punch, because we're attracting and engaging and creating opportunities, new ones, and re-engaging people. And now it's about your technology doing its part and making sure that you're doing your part, and we're all staying accountable. So those reports definitely help.
So what are some of your top CRMs that kind of feed with what you guys have going on?
Yeah, so Sierra Interactive is definitely one of our favorites. Chime is one of our favorites. Those are definitely ones that put us as marketers in the best positions, just because of their website, their IDX, their CRM.
Okay.
It's an all-in-one, solution that helps everything.
Okay.
Standalone CRM, I would definitely have to say Follow Up Boss, hands down.
Okay.
The simplicity and just the flexibility of it to, sync with pretty much anything with a Zap.
Right.
If they don't already have an integration.
Right.
Those are definitely the ones that we would advise people to work with.
We got introduced to Follow Up Boss probably 6 years ago, and our new company we're with has we've got their own system called KV Core, and it's a great program. It's, again, another one it's all in. You've got to dive into it and figure out what's going on. But it's like the Follow Up Boss system. It's so systematic with everything we've got going on third party, and so it's so hard to switch over when you start moving companies. That's why it's nice to be all in one, but it's also nice to standalone, so I can switch this part out and then have something else come in that feeds into it.
Right, exactly, for sure, man. And when it comes to the website, ensuring that you have content that helps with blog, like timely stuff, that's
right,
things that are happening or things to do, or hyper-local tags and hyper-local keywords that people are searching for.
Right.
We're talking about. You also want to create pillar content. So, think of something like the top questions Lakeland home buyers are asking right now, or the top 10 frequently asked questions post COVID, whenever that does happen. Creating content.
Yeah, that's 2025.
Yeah, seriously, man, I'm not sure if that's a good one or not. But
you remembered for.
Yeah, but you want to create content that on your website speaks on a hyper local level, but also industry related things that people are searching for. If you're getting a question asked, frequently, that should be a blog concept, and either you write that or you have a team like us where you would give us those ideas. But that's only going to help your experience on your website, help with your SEO strength, and just when people go to your website, they check you out. Believe it or not, your about page is one of the most highly visited page on your website. Go look at your analytics right now. You'd probably be shocked. So people do a lot of research and blogging, seeing what you're talking about, seeing how active you are, and it's kind of like going to the gym, Todd. Your business.
First, we have to go.
Yeah, you need to work your business out. You need to stay consistent. You need to feed the right. You need to feed it the right things, so it flourishes and grows,
right,
and is healthy. Same thing applies, man. So think of your marketing, think of your advertising, branding. That same sort of approach. Just it's a consumer thing you should be doing, and then you're going to go in that upward trend. That's the goal. So
you're where was I going with that? So I always have a question in my head, and then I always lose it at some point. I'll come back to that one. Crap. Oh well.
No, you're
Go ahead.
I think a good segue would probably be about going in exactly, a tactical strategy that you guys can execute to get repeat business from your database, something that you guys can actually execute starting on Monday or starting August 3rd. Give it a month, give it 2 months. But this is something that Alicia from BombBomb shared with me on a webinar that blew my mind, quite frankly. It's something that I've shared in a few groups. I love this concept. So this is something, and this is going to go into my next point about the CRM. So uploading your database to Facebook, that should be critical. That should be one thing you're doing social media wise. But email marketing, I want to give you guys an idea when it comes to tapping into your past clients, your past sellers, people that you've worked with who have a home. As long as you know that person is living in a home, this is a strategy that you can execute on.
Do you want to play that video?
Say it again.
You want to show that video that you did?
Yeah, I'll just share that video, man.
Okay.
That might be a good one. I'll actually.
That was something I was going to ask you because I saw the one he did. It was on condos, and I thought that was pretty cool. But how do you play that with like a single family?
Well, all right. So yeah, so I'll just run through it myself. So Google Earth, it's a free tool. Anyone can use it. And what this gentleman did, he used a service called he used BombBomb, but you could use a service called Loom.
Okay.
Maybe you've heard of it. You can use any screen sharing service, but Loom is a free tool that you could do on screen sharing or a screen record, should I say. And your goal is when you're doing this is to record your screen as you're talking and guiding. And you'll have a little bubble that shows you, but also your screen as you're going through this process, which I'm about to show you. Okay. But as you're, the housing market has changed. People that are, it typically from 5 to 7 years, people are going to make a upgrade or downgrade. They're going to make a move. So if you have past clients in that time frame, take the next 30 to 90 days, do one of these per day for the next 30 or 90 days. And I guarantee you that you will have at least one positive conversation. I would bet you would have more than one positive conversation. This is going to be a very hyper-local, a very custom way, one-on-one, mind you. This is a one-on-one approach where you're going to show them their property. So immediately their antenna is raised because you're talking about my home, not the market. You're not talking about the Orlando market. I'm talking about my property and what has changed with my property as you're zooming into it. Okay. So what's a listing that you currently have right now, Todd?
104 Cove Lake.
104 Cove Lake. All right. So I'm going to do hold on. Let me get this first. Cove Lake or Crove Lake? Right there?
Cove, right there, Longwood. Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to do a little role play here. Okay.
All right.
Hey, Todd, Tyler here from Dippidi Realty. So I just wanted to give you a quick update, man, on your home, 104 Cove Lake. I know it's been a few months since we last spoke. I know you and Shirley have been talking about making a move here. I'm not sure, obviously, first and foremost, I want to make sure you guys are healthy and everything's good with your family. I'm always here for, if you need anything. But I understand prior to COVID, you were asking about your, the home and just, wondering what it was valued at. So I want to go through what has changed over the last few months with COVID. And actually, you may be surprised at what homes in your neighborhood have sold for in the last 90 days. I'm not sure if you've seen the news or have seen interest rates, but it may be a good time for you guys to make that move. So I just wanted to go through this process and I pulled up some MLS comps here for you guys. So here are some of the homes that have recently sold, and you would basically have Google Earth with your MLS data showing properties. Basically it's a unsolicited CMA, a socially distanced CMA, right? So basically you're going to zoom in on their property, and that was probably not a very good role play, but you guys.
No, I think it was great because if you have the comps pulled up, and then you can pop in, the MLS live while you're doing it, and then even have a map pulled up with their 4 properties tagged. They can see the distance to the comparables. Because if you look at this house, for example, the stuff that's on where you got the canal right here, river. The stuff on the other side of the river does not sell for as much because it's a different. It's still the same neighborhood, but it's a different section that's a little bit more elevated. And so,
you would be communicating that literally as you're zooming. Like I didn't hear that obviously, but
no, but that's that's a fact of that community. So when they see that and they're not just looking at, here's the list of the comps, here's the list of here's the pictures of the homes, and they know the streets in their community, but it's a lot easier when they see it on an aerial shot. So I think what you're doing is really good. Doing that.
Yeah. So, you would polish this up as you go along too, but it should be about, 2 to 3 minutes. And again, as you start your Loom video and you start your screen record, start with it zooming in onto their property. And, and the title, the title of the video should be their property, or some sort of enticing call to action that goes with their antenna as well. But, as this is pulling up, explain what you just did and talk about, some MLS data, and, just treat it as a CMA, literally an unsolicited CMA, but make it 2 to 3 minutes, just value-based. Hey, I hope you're doing well. I hope the family is well. I just wanted to, make sure that that I'm always here to answer any of your questions. I know people are just all over the place right now. But I just want to make sure that that I'm here. I have a little bit of extra time given that everything's closed. So I just wanted to make this video for you. I've been going through my database of all my past clients, my VIP list, and just want to make sure that you know what's going on with your home specifically, not the market in general, because we all know about that.
Right.
But let's talk about your home and to make sure that you're in the best position to maximize, your investment. So however your spiel is, I think
that's great doing that. And it's, you all have our top 50 and we all want to stay in front of those every year. And I think it's a great way to kind of stay engaged with them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a great strategy. Another thing that I was going to suggest, let me go through my notes here. Is going back to your point of those 50 or 100 or really any of your past clients, when you're at a closing, this is another strategy that I would suggest you guys to implement. Start a task-based action plan. Okay. Not a automated drip action plan that is like everybody else's. Create a task-based action plan for all of your past clients and people that you recently have closed, and just make a reminder, whatever your process is. Maybe it's a 30-day check-in or a 90-day check-in. Maybe currently you already have an action plan in place, but it's an automated, canned response that anyone in 2020 can understand that it's not you talking to me, right? So what I would advise you guys to do with your past clients to build those brand promoters is, number one, either do a video email follow-up whenever this task comes up. So you'll get reminded in Follow Up Boss or in KV Core or in Sierra Interactive or Chime, whatever it may be. You can set these reminders that say, hey, Todd, it's day 90 of working with Shirley. Here's your reminder to send that check-in message. And then you would say, okay, maybe it's a quick email that is very personal that I mentioned a thing that she remembers or whatever that may be. Or I use an application called Dubb, D-U-B-B. It's just like BombBomb. It's an alternative, but it's a video email tool that will humanize you, that will 100% make them know that it's a custom interaction. It's made, it's made for me.
So my team is listening right now, and you're mentioning Follow-Up Boss tasks and the after the closing, and they just meant kind of a nudge to get on your tasks.
There you go. I love it. No, that's great, man. I mean, that's how you stay top of mind. And I hopefully my agent's not watching this, but she hasn't followed up with me in over 2 years. And I know she's my friend, but I mean, that it's all about consistency and just executing. And even if people, what I've found is many people are lurkers. They may not engage with you. They may not message you. They may not reply right away, but they're watching you. And as long as you're getting value and you're there and you're at the party, there's no excuse. There's nothing on you that you did that made them not want to work with you, other than giving so much value that they're turned off by value, which then I don't want to work with you.
Some of the things that we've added in our 365 is like a 30-day check-in. At the end of the year, we do a home anniversary plant to them. We mail out a just like a change of address card so they can mail to their friends.
Awesome.
Little things over time. And, a handful of the clients will email back and say, thank you. This is much appreciated. Especially when referrals come out, we always shoot them something, dinner card or whatever it is. But it's every time they get something through the transaction or after the transaction, they all love it. And we've also, for like our top 50 to top 100, did this what are we calling the program? Our top, call it the top 100 club.
Right.
The ones that always refer you and always come back to you. So they get like the item of the month. And like this year we did beach towels, in summer. And it's just, it's something that everybody loves. They get it and they tag it on Facebook. So it'll get you a little bit more promotion there. And I'm a big person to hand out a lot of swag. It's, our stuff is on everybody's, they got Yetis, tumblers, towels, cutting boards, whatever with their name on it. And it's fun when somebody sees something and they pop it back on Facebook and say, hey, we took your towel to the beach today, or we went to the beach today and we had your hat, your cooler bag, your koozie, and your towel with us today. So you were kind of at the beach with us, but you didn't get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So some fun stuff there.
No, that's great stuff, man. And, I know that you do a great job of that. And those one-on-one relationships is how I would probably assume why your business has grown so much and why you've been so successful is because you don't treat these leads or these, people as customers or clients. They're actually friends and partners. They're lifelong. You're their lifelong realtor, right? That's
a good point. It's like they're a partner in your business because they are a referral base. So they're helping you generate revenue.
Exactly. You should definitely have a referral program. That's one thing that I would advise everyone to have for sure is what you have done is creating those experiences. Even if people aren't replying back to your messages about these contests or whatever it may be, if you have this information on your website, not only are they in your database to get remarketed, they have a better opportunity because they've been engaging with your website also.
Right. So
you'll have an opportunity to stay in front of them on social media. You're staying in front of them on email. And you have that task-based action plan to call them or a video one-on-one email. So you have all these different touch points in place that, again, you're speaking to people at different levels and different ways. Everyone communicates differently. So as long as you have these certain measures in place in your CRM, having that task-based action plan, or at least that video follow-up. The video follow-up, if you scrub your database the next 30 or 90 days, do the email video follow-up and the bomb or the Loom screen record for your sellers for their homes, I guarantee you will stir up some conversations that will drum up some business.
I think it's an awesome way. If you just send out like a happy 4th of July or happy Labor Day or kids going back to school email, you'll, number one, find out how current your database really is, because every time we send something, we always get a bounce. And so it's one, we haven't stayed in touch to keep stuff relevant. So it gives us a reason to reach back out to them. So that's, I think, number one is just like, we all have something coming up in August. Our kids are starting school. It's starting school late. So whatever market you're in, send out a little blast email about that with some ideas about what to do, if they are staying home, if they're going to school half days, if they're going face-to-face, and tips and tricks, I think would be a good blog. My question I was trying to remember earlier was, you talked about like the top 10 things to do in Lakeland to buy a house. Can you take that blog? Is it worth taking that same blog and creating a YouTube video about that?
100,000%. Yeah. If you have the ability and the desire or the capacity to execute on that, 100%. It's only, it's only going to your website with SEO. It's like compound interest, and it's about going to the gym. You have to do it consistently for it to grow and for it to work. You can't just put a blog and go viral. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
Well, that's why I think the blog to the YouTube channel, I wonder how well they can work off each other. Because when we left the previous marketing company we were with, I was like, God, we have all these blogs in there, and what's going to happen with them? And then it's like, it's nothing. They've been clicked on, they've had their use, and it's done. Let's just start with the new. And I just think if you could take the blogs, turn them into YouTube, and somehow tie them together. And we're just starting to dive into YouTube. This is obviously shows being streamed on there, but I'm trying to do lead generation, not agent generation. So the consumer doesn't care about this show. The agents care about this show, but it's what do we do on YouTube and how to market to clients? That's our next like big 90-day rock there.
So what I would say there, Todd, is take that video and put it on YouTube, of course,
right.
And then put it on Facebook also, and then put the blog link there.
Okay.
And in the learn more or read more or whatever that call to action in the video is,
you
can have them drive to the blog, or you can drive to like a schedule page, or whatever that content is about.
Okay.
Blog related, you probably want to open that up to get as wide as possible. And again, as long as you have your custom audiences in place, going to our original point, as long as you have your website traffic, your website pixel in place and your Facebook engagement properly pixeled also, all that traffic from a blog about, school, about, keeping your kids in the know, or I'm sorry, keeping parents in the know about what's happening with school, that could generate 1,000 link clicks to your website of people that you're just giving value in something that's relevant, and people are talking about.
Right.
And if 180 days, they will see your other ads that it may be about a testimonial of a recent, case study or a client story. It could be, an IDX ad of a top, the top waterfront homes for sale that they want to engage with. You have no idea, but again, as long as you have that pillar content in place and you have those ads firing, you have that flywheel model. So you're going to capture people in different levels or different parts of their journey.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And
it does. Yeah, no, because I think it's like, and if you can just start getting stuff in front of them, you may show them a house that they had no interest in, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, maybe we'll look at waterfront, because everybody's buying boats, RVs, and all kinds of stuff right now, because they got nothing else to do. And everything's off the charts.
Exactly, man. Our data is unbelievable. I mean, I think it's a culmination of people consuming content, and also people are dropping out, so there's lesser competition. And the housing market in general.
Yeah,
people understand that right now is a great time to buy a home. So of course,
we're trying to find many ways to find new inventory, because it's like there's like in our little pocket community, there's no condos that are available on the first floor for our older generation, and so now it's like we either need to go door knocking or we need to find ways to reach those people, and we need to get them to sell.
That's a good IDX ad for you, Todd.
Yep.
One first level condos for sale in a certain area.
And the thing is, we need the sellers, and so it's like we've got to find those.
Oh, I misunderstood. Okay.
Trust me, we've got a handful of buyers that need these type of inventory. We have nothing for them, so we've got to go into like Remine, or see who's had the property longer, has a high sell score, see what the analytics can bring back to us, so we know who our target audience is.
Right. Yeah.
Two things I wanted to kind of point out, and then we'll wrap up. Somebody asked, do you do funnels?
Yes. I mean, everything that we do in theory is a funnel, but we don't look at it as a funnel. It's that flywheel approach. So like going back to that, I won't share my screen, but that funnel, what you're saying is you want to add that at the top layer, attract people, the middle layer re-engages people, and the bottom layer delights people or converts people, or it's another sort of way to, at any level, you can generate a lead. You can generate a lead attracting them. It's going to be a colder lead than someone that's already in your database, or someone not already in database, someone that's already visited your website, or have visited a blog, or have shown some intent on your IDX, and then they become a lead. They can become a lead at any part of the journey, like I was saying, but we create these funnels or these flywheels at the core philosophical level in what we do.
I think the funnel's a different avenue. It's because it's like you click on this, and all of a sudden your screen pops up this, and then it pops up this, and it's what you're doing is a little bit more engaging, versus I think the funnels become salesy.
It is. Like we have the ability to do any of that targeting. Like we call it more like if this then that scenarios. So if someone watches X amount of a video, they can see this piece of content,
Right.
We always have the ability to do that. So if that's
Okay.
the question, then yes.
Okay.
We always have the ability to create very custom based on engagement ads and based on activity. But going back to your point, Todd, it's more so of an encompassing idea that you are always attracting, engaging, and delighting your customers. It's not it's not a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing flywheel that, of course, that also adapts, and you can change what that attract ad looks like and what that says. You can change the engage ad. You can change what that looks like and of it. But it's always that flywheel approach. The top layer, I won't say top layer, it's more of that wheel. So,
yeah, it's the Flintstones rock. We start saying top layer. So you got Ricky Carruth coming on next week. I just want to throw this on there. I'm excited to jump on that, and we'll do some sharing with this after the fact. You're starting like kind of the show series too, and you're like jumping right into the gun, getting like some of the top guys on there. So it's kind of going to be exciting. So anybody who knows Ricky Carruth, he was formerly Remax, now EXP, does free coaching, 0 to Diamond. Every time you get him on an interview, he's awesome.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that on Tuesday.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited about this. I've been following Ricky for over, I'd say, 3 years now.
Yeah.
Just his entire philosophy about relationships over transactions is just the epitome of what we do, and just it's so much synergy. So, as most of you guys know, he's a single agent who produces over 100 homes a year for the last 6 years by himself.
Yep.
He has a family.
With prospecting, that's like a lot of stuff he has going on. And
he's a national speaker also.
Yeah. I mean, my team does, the last few years we've hit right around 100 sales, 100, 105. We're hoping to exceed that this year. But I've got a full staff. I mean, we have a support team that handles that, because I'm sitting there thinking, I don't want to work 80 hours a week doing this. So I want to be a fly on the wall to, like, how does he do 100 deals a year by himself? I mean, with like this morning meeting roofers and then getting extensions out. And, I'm in the perfect scenario right now because I got 2 of my support. One's on vacation. One's at home with their son who's sick. And the other one's, in here part-time, doesn't have the backup to kind of jump into the transaction. So what am I doing? I'm jumping back into the driver's seat of, typing addendums and doing all this stuff. And I said, hey, Monday when Katie gets back, you're getting cross-trained. This is nuts. It was a perfect storm the last 3 days.
I understand, man. Yeah, I'm very excited just to talk and just get in the mind of Ricky. So we're going to talk about, obviously, what he does with his marketing and branding and advertising to generate business. But I definitely want to talk more so about his mindset and how he executes on it. Because again, I talk about this stuff all the time, but again, it boils down to who does it. And that's what he hammers home as well. So a sneak peek also, he's going to give away one of his 90-day action plans for everyone as well. So that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a great kickoff for the monthly series. My friend Connor from Zillow is going to be doing this with myself. So
you'll get some good brand approach to that. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm pumped. And Ricky, I think, is going to set the tone and, of course, set the bar high for us. And I'm not sure how many Ricky Carruths we're going to get, but I'm just excited just for everyone in our group and just everyone that, are mutual friends of ours that could benefit from what he has to say and what he's done. So.
Well, I'm on his drip campaigns, and of course, I've clicked on something. Now I'm on his funnel follow-up, and I love the emails I get from him because it's just a quick 10-minute video. Hey, we're trying these 4 strategies, and he just talks about them and pops it on an email and gets blasted out. So it's some cool stuff. So we're really looking forward to Tuesday.
Yeah, man, awesome.
So, well, Tyler, I appreciate you coming on today. We've way exceeded our normal time because there's so much value to kind of hand back. And some good banter going back and forth. So I do appreciate you, spending more time with me than we had talked about. So, guys, check out MBA for Real Estate Marketing, Branding Agency for Real Estate, or Ads for Real Estate. That's where you're going to see Ricky at. And obviously, thanks for coming on, Agents Who Win. Anything you guys have, topics you want to talk about, throw them in the comments. We would love to get some more speakers on here that talk about something somebody wants to know about. So, again, I do appreciate your time, Tyler.
Of course.
New comment. Can anything? Oh, Anthony. Okay. Can anything be better than what's been covered here today?
Green Crocs. Yeah.
The green Crocs is what we're going to cover next.
Oh man, Anthony, I hope you're doing well, my man. We have to play some golf soon. I haven't seen you for so long.
I think we just need to beat Lakeland. He'll come up from Tampa. I'll come down there and we'll just do it. Do 18. You
guys come to Lakeland, golf and some drinks on us. Hands down.
Sounds good.
We got you guys.
All right, we'll plan it. I appreciate it, sir.
Awesome, Todd. Thanks again, man.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
See you soon. Bye-bye.